Hello, welcome or welcome back. If you've been following along on our journey, you know that we are moving from Japan to Florida in just a couple weeks. In order to move out of our current apartment on Misawa Air Base, we have a pre-inspection and a final inspection. We aren't allowed to move out of our unit and into temporary lodging facility on base until we pass our final inspection. So to start, the base housing office gave us this checklist of everything we need to clean and tidy before our housing inspections. We are responsible for cleaning our walls, baseboards, and floors. We need to clean everything from the windows. The kitchen basically needs to be spotless. The cabinets, walls, appliances, countertops, you name it, they need to be clean. The laundry room is also one of the things that needs to be super clean. The washer and dryer need to be as clean as they can be, which these ones are pretty outdated, so I'm guessing they'll replace the dryer after we move out, but our washer was recently replaced, so that's not too filthy quite yet. We just need to dust the blinds and shades and pray that they're not bent. Our ceiling fans have to be dusted and our HVAC systems must be cleaned. Bathrooms have to be cleaned and free from all of the nasty residues and mold as well. Our storage unit in the hallway needs to be empty and cleaned. The yard must be kept up. Thankfully, we don't have a yard since we live in an apartment. The trash cans must be emptied and cleaned out, but again, we live in the apartment, so this doesn't apply to us. The common area and parking spaces also don't apply to us. Balconies, though, those apply to us. We need to clean the windows on the outside and sweep up the patio. The nameplate on the outside of our unit needs to be cleaned off, which I'm a bit anxious about since I used permanent vinyl when I cut out the letters. We were issued 2 keys when we moved into the unit, so obviously we are expected to turn in both apartment keys when we move out. We ran to my favorite 100 yen store to grab a bunch of cleaning supplies. We didn't want to go too crazy on spending for cleaning supplies since we had to clean every nook and cranny in this home. We grabbed the citric acid powder cleaner for appliances, citrus stove cleaner, paint to cover Emmett's mountain wall, a paint roller, and paint roller replacements. This fun little sponge since the picture looked very influencing. Some washing machine cleaner, citrusy all-purpose cleaner, a scraper since we had random things stuck to the wall with adhesive, baby-proofing stuff on the cabinets, and we grabbed some sandpaper because, well, you never know. Straw cleaners just because we needed them, not because we had to clean the house with them. Then we grabbed this fun squeegee to clean our windows and patio doors. We grabbed this little scrub brush to get in those hard-to-reach places. And lastly, we grabbed this little bag of magic erasers. The first task we started on was the oven. The word on the street is that the first thing they look at in the housing inspection is the appliances. So we started to clean the oven with some baking soda and lemon juice since this worked well on the drip pans underneath the burners when I cleaned them a couple months ago. But it didn't work. So that's actually when we went to Daiso to grab the cleaning supplies. Rachel attacked this oven with nearly every supply we bought. With a lot of elbow grease, she was able to get it clean. Emmett was a pretty solid supervisor during the whole ordeal as well. Next up was the stove. We cleaned underneath and all around the burners and knobs, and then cleaned the little drip pans. These are always so awful. I spill a lot when I cook. I don't know how, but we actually ended up replacing all of these to make sure we'd pass the final inspection, since they want it to look like you never existed here. And there were just a couple spots that we couldn't clean from these. I don't know if we just cooked them on there too well or what, but no matter what we tried on these little things, there were just a couple spots we couldn't get clean. We also needed to wipe down the inside and outside of the kitchen cabinets. While I was doing that, I remembered that I put on these little adhesive hooks inside the pots and pans cupboard to hold our pot holders, so I needed to scrape that off. Lemon oil ended up saving the day. Lemon oil is truly the best thing I have ever discovered for cleaning. It works for nearly everything. We didn't have too much left in our cabinet, so I just removed that stuff while I cleaned and then put it back when I was done. We needed it to be done before we packed, so this was just the route we had to take. We aren't allowed to move out until we pass the housing inspection, but we can't have anything in the home during the house inspection though. It doesn't make sense to me, but whatever works for them. We had to take down the child-proofing locks we had on the outside of the cabinets as well, so I used a bit of lemon oil to remove the remaining residue. We left the lock on the cabinet under the sink since all of our cleaners were in there and Emmett lives here. I also moved some of the cabinet shelves back to their original spots just because I realize everyone's not like me and wants all of their cabinets personalized to their belongings. And don't worry, I made sure to wipe down the counters since I walked all over them while I was cleaning. Once the cabinets were done, I needed to wipe out the drawers, so I took everything out, wiped out the drawer, and put it all back. The kitchen was as done as I could get it until it was time to clean the fridge and the dishwasher. The task I dreaded the most was to paint over Emmett's mountain wall and the trees we painted behind his door. Rachel painted this wall when I was about 17 weeks pregnant with Emmett, so it's a little sad to paint over his first bedroom wall. Anyway, before we could start, I had to take out Emmett's mattress, blanket, and stuffy. While I was doing that, Rachel got the paint all mixed and poured before she taped along the baseboard and got to painting. It took about 2 coats to cover this. We were only required to cover it, not to make it look good or match. Apparently they come through and paint the entire unit once we move out anyway, so they just wanted the wall to basically be primed and ready for them to paint. Rachel painted this before she went to work one day and on her lunch break that same day, so it was all painted a couple days before they came for the inspection. The next thing we needed to do was to vacuum out the patio door tracks. Apparently, the housing inspector thoroughly checks these and you can't pass with dirty tracks, so here we are. Rachel vacuumed these out and then washed the outside windows with the squeegee. We planned to clean the inside windows the day of the inspection to avoid cleaning them twice, since Emmett's little handprints would be right back on the window right after cleaning them anyway. Our initial inspection is tomorrow, so I need to clean this up. I need to get all of this cleaned up, as well as this nasty part of the mirror. I don't know if you can see it, but it's pretty awful. And then when I put this shelf on the wall, I decided to paint it when it was already up instead of painting it and then putting it up after. So I have to see if this will wipe off. I only used acrylic paint, so it should be able to wipe off, but I haven't tried yet. So that needs to go. And then on our shower, you can kind of see it looks a little moldy. I can't decide if it's mold or if it's just the grout, because a lot of this still has those little black speckles in it too. But if you look in our shower, it's a little moldy over here, so I don't know if that's mold on that part or if it is just part of the grout. So I need to get this cleaned up so when they come tomorrow, they're not too hard on us telling us everything we need to do, and then we have to get it done. So then this is moldy again. I just scrubbed this like a week ago or so, but I don't know. This bathroom gets nasty. Emmett's bathroom's not nearly as bad. So I am just going to give this bathroom some love and hope that we pass our inspection tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to use this. I don't prefer this. I actually kind of hate the smell of it, but I have to use up what we have since we're moving soon. So I'm just going to put this, let it soak, and clean up the rest of the bathroom. I also forgot until I was cleaning that I had put up this contact paper as a faux backsplash when we first moved in, so I needed to pull that off as well. In the bathrooms, the basic cleaning needed to be done. The toilets, counters, and showers needed some TLC, and also dusting on top of the medicine cabinet, and the cabinet above the toilet along with the vent on the ceiling needed to be cleaned. I don't know if everyone's like me, where your hairspray and everything gets on your bathroom door. I don't know if you can see it. I think you can kind of see it a little bit when I angled it into the light. So I'm just gonna try to scrub that off a little bit. I don't know if it'll come off. So I'm gonna try just some all-purpose cleaner, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna bring in the trusty old lemon oil. The fire escape balcony in our master bedroom needed the same treatment as the main patio. We just ran out of time to clean them both in the same day. So while Rachel was washing the window outside, I decided to wipe down the windows inside. Emmett actually left these alone and we didn't have to re-wash them. And he was in and out, and then I ended up having to move a patio chair in here so he could have a snack and watch Rachel clean. And he did super well after that. The next thing was carpet cleaning, but in order to clean the carpets, we wanted to start with a freshly vacuumed floor, so I vacuumed the floors quick while Rachel used the carpet cleaner on the playroom floor that we had already vacuumed. Then I wanted to give the carpet cleaner a go, so I cleaned the master bathroom floor. That was actually a super satisfying task. I loved seeing the lines on the carpet. They had just installed new carpeting in our unit the month before we moved in, so we had to make sure to keep the carpets in reasonably good condition so they wouldn't be too hard on us during the inspection. We just rented this carpet cleaner from a place on base, so it just had to be back a couple days later, and it was fairly easy to use. The instructions are simple enough. One of the things on the checklist was to take off all the residue from the windows, so I had taped up some aluminum foil in Emmett's bedroom just to keep it darker. For some reason, the light would just seep out on the sides even though he had blackout curtains in here, so I taped up the aluminum foil to stop that light from going into his room, but the sun baked on this tape, so the residue was just stuck on there, so I used some lemon oil, a sponge, and a scraper to get it all off. There was still some left on there, but I couldn't do anything about it, so if they charge us, they charge us, but you can't really see through the windows anyway since they're so dirty on the outside. I had Emmett's Alexa up here on his shelf when all of our stuff was here, so I had taped the cord to the wall so it wasn't noticeable for him to grab, but the residue did all this funky stuff, so I just wanted to clean that off. Another thing on the checklist was to take our name off the nameplate in the hallway. I was actually a bit nervous about this since I used permanent vinyl when I cut the letters out, but it actually came off very nicely with the trusty old lemon oil and this amazing Japanese stove cleaner. This stuff, let me tell you, buy it, order it, have someone ship you some. It is wonderful and nothing seems to work as well as it. I don't know what's in it since I can't read the ingredients, but I wish I would have discovered it sooner. So now I'm gonna try this one. It says it's for stove burners and cooktop walls, but it contains orange oil, so I'm curious if it'll work similar to the lemon oil. I've noticed that this lemon oil doesn't work as good as that Now brand, but I don't know why, so I'm just gonna try this. The Now brand oil that I have is running out, and it's the only oil I have. Okay, it's not the only oil I have. I could diffuse anything, but lemon is my favorite to diffuse, and I don't want to waste it on cleaning when I want to smell it all day instead. So let's just try this first and see if that does it. And I'm going to tell you already that that cleaner is amazing. We got it at the dollar store, and I don't know why I haven't been using it for the last 4 years, because it wiped that off better than that lemon oil did. So let me just tell you that. Next up was the fridge. So I started by taking everything out of the fridge just to see what we were working with. It wasn't too awful since I had just wiped it out a month or two ago, but it was still pretty gross. I just planned on wiping down everything, and then I found out that the glass came out on the bottom shelf, and then I found out that that was nasty. I couldn't figure out how to get the other shelves out without breaking it, so I just used a butter knife and a little scrubber to get between the glass and the shelf holding it. I washed off the shelf for the bottom as well as the drawers before heading back to the fridge, but once that was all put back, it was time to move on to the door. I used various cleaners and different scrubbers and a magic eraser to try to get all of the marks off of the outside. Once that was all put back, it was time to move on to the door. I wiped down the shelves and that little spot that seals the fridge and took out the little bucket deals and rinsed them out. They weren't actually too bad, but still not clean enough to pass the inspection. When I put everything back into the fridge, I placed it all on paper towels so it didn't dirty up my clean fridge. It actually worked very well and the fridge was beautifully cleaned for the inspection. The inspector guy even gave it a very approving yet skeptical, very good. I swear this guy was straight out of a movie. I ran out of time to clean the freezer since Emmett woke up from his nap and was not in a pleasant enough mood to allow me to get any cleaning done, so Rachel cleaned out that the next morning before she went to work. And she also gave the dishwasher some TLC. This was too nasty. I didn't hang around for this task, but here's some footage of that. also wanted you to know that we cleaned the washer out, but I wasn't able to get a good angle of that, so here's enough proof that it was done. Once Emmett woke up on the day of our housing inspection, I needed to remove the shelf that held his sound machines, the outlet cover, and all of the cord covers I put up after the movers took our belongings. This was a chore. The adhesive that these cords left was not forgiving. Luckily, I had lemon oil and some of that Japanese stove cleaner left to work with, but this was not good. It took me a hot minute to get done. It was very nice to have up while we didn't have anything. Emmett absolutely would have tried to pull these cords down. He would wake up and he would come sit over here and try to pull at this stuff. I would look in the camera and he wouldn't be within view because he would be right down there trying to pull these cords out. But luckily, this not forgiving adhesive stuck to the wall well enough where he wasn't able to pull anything free. So I'm thankful for that. It was just not very convenient to clean up. The final things we needed to clean up was Emmett's window and the playroom window. We tag teamed this. I used a paper towel to catch the cleaner that leaked down the window while Rachel squeegeed. The windows were clean on the inside, but on the outside, the window was awful. There wasn't a clear spot to see out of. I don't know what it is, if it's just dirt or grime or whatever, but you can see how not clean this was. This was all I was able to video for cleaning that final day because we ran out of time. We had way more loads to take out to the car than we thought. The inspection was at 1 p.m. and we got done loading the car at 12:20. But at this time, we still needed to mop, wipe down the kitchen counters, vacuum, and take out the trash. So we threw Emmett in the stroller and he watched us finish all of those tasks just in the nick of time. Rachel was actually downstairs taking out the garbage when the inspector arrived 15 minutes early. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate your presence. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I hope you were able to find some inspiration or motivation to tackle your own tasks or cleaning today, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye!